There's something magical about stepping into a toy store. The outside world disappears, time slows, and you are transformed. That's the way it is in Kip's Toyland, the oldest toy store in Los Angeles, suitably located in the original farmer's market where nostalgia is hip and locals and tourists happily coexist. Kip's is a throwback.
Come on in. Welcome to Kip's Toyland.
You know I love coming in here.
Oh, thanks. We love to see you.
You have all the classic traditional toys. There's not a lot of technology.
We have an adding machine, but you're right. We don't sell any toys that plug in. Everything is, if there's electricity involved, comes from a battery.
The ever-smiling ambassador of Kip's is Don Kipper, the second-generation owner. While some of the nearby food stands date back to 1934, Kip's opened its doors in 1946. So tell me about some of the toys in here that are like the classic toys.
Well, I think the oldest toys we have would include Slinky. Slinky was invented in 1945.
Where else but at Kip's would a toy introduced so long ago not only be on the shelves, but a top seller?
This is the original Slinky that you remember.
Oh my gosh, yes, but I don't, the box.
And the box is the same packaging.
Oh my God, you put it on the stairs.
You can chase it all over the neighborhood.
The vintage commercial brought me back to when I was growing up and went to Kip's. Coming back as an adult made me feel like, well, a kid again.
These, which were originally called wheelos, now they're called gyro wheels. You remember this.
Of course.
Was from 1953. And it's the first way that people got carpal tunnel syndrome by doing this. And it kept kids and of all ages busy for hours, including me.
A simple philosophy has guided Kip's from the beginning.
We love the classics and the retro things. And the thing that's important to us is it helps kids play with one another instead of sitting in a corner with a device.
What's it like when kids come in here and they see these traditional classic toys?
Nobody walks in here with a frown. Everybody is happy, except the kid who's crying because he didn't get what he wanted, and we somehow make sure that they leave happy.
See, I grew up on Lite Brite. Oh, and Simon said.
All right.
Oh, Barrel of Monkeys. Now, this I have not seen since I was a kid.
Allison, you gotta calm down. It's not good for you.
I'm really kind of freaking out, right? Operation. Oh, it takes a very steady hand. Remember that commercial?
I do.
It takes a steady hand because if you touch the side...
Kip's almost wasn't. Don's father, Erwin, a pilot in World War II, was shot down and held in a German prison camp. He promised himself that if he survived, he would dedicate his life to happy things. How did he know it was going to be toys?
Well, at that time, there were no toy stores. You would buy toys at the holidays in a department store or sometimes in a hardware store, but there were no toy stores, and he thought that would be a good way to spend the rest of his time.
Kip's was invited into the farmer's market space in 1956, originally in the annex known as the Dell, until about 20 years ago when the Dell was raised to make way for the Grove.
Kip's, of course, had to stay, and so they got this wonderful location right at the gateway to the farmer's market.
Alicia Buss is the director of marketing for the original farmer's market.
It's still the best old-fashioned toy store in Los Angeles, but I would argue in the United States. I mean, there's no place like it.
Do you take your children?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My 7-year-old, every time he comes, Mommy, can we go in Kip's? And they get plenty of birthday party business from me, too.
But 100 yards away from Kip's new location, then toy giant FAO Schwarz opened a sprawling megastore.
At one point, my father was interviewed about that, and his take was, we'll keep doing what we're doing, and they can do what they do, and somehow we're still here, and they had an unhappy ending.
Kip, as he was affectionately known, was a fixture in the store for more than 50 years, until he passed away in 2016. After a long stint as an accountant, Don decided to carry on the magical tradition. Soon, Don's daughter Lily will step in as the new play leader.
It's pretty cool to wake up every morning and be able to work with my dad. It doesn't feel like work to me. I get to go in and hang out with my family and play with toys all day.
In this land of enchantment known as Kip's Toyland, I'm glad time really does slow down and all of us can enjoy the magic.